Day 4 on Fitmas. How is everybody today? Oh, and I know that so many of you are really doing so well. I wanted to just, take a moment here and thank everybody who's taking the time to literally just dump in those photos. It really is super, accountable. For starters, makes me smile, makes my day. I'm sure it makes your day. I think it makes the whole group's day, just to, jumping in the morning, or if you're catching this now or a little bit later, and just seeing all these pictures. It's just so lovely to see everybody doing something fun. Sometimes in the health and fitness world, things can become a little bit intense, or the fun element is not there anymore. And yes, we might love grueling workouts, and who doesn't? I love to get super sweaty and super on it and do these grueling workouts. But there are moments in life and in your current reality that sometimes just doesn't do it, and you may need a different alternative, a different thing. And so booze today is going to be a huge topic, just to help you to try and change a few things around if you can, just to be a bit more aware. It's certainly not the time of the year to stop drinking. It's not certainly the time of the year that you need to change anything drastically. But I would, however, just give you a few tips and a few things, myth busting for sure, because I know so many people still think of alcohol as a nightcap, or they think of alcohol is not that damaging, or they just think a hangover, it's there and it's gone, and that's it. There's so many elements that are rooted with and surrounding alcohol. The physical effects we can see, so when we drink, we can already see the physicalities of it. But what about the mental attachment? That is very, very, very real for many women. And I think that I, for one, do have a sensitivity towards it. So especially the next day, hangover aside, it's the emotional attachment. So I don't feel as positive the next day as I usually would do. And things like, I would be short-tempered, a bit grumpy. I would see everything a little bit more cynical, as productive the next day. And it's fine, because this time of year we're revving up, but eventually we want to be able to sit down with friends and family. We want to be able to sit down and enjoy this downtime, the slowing down. So it's not all about workouts, short quick fixes, getting organized, curfews for this, rushing here and there. It's not all about this busyness. We also need to take care of our emotional, our mental, our parasympathetic nervous system, that's a very long word. I always have to think about before I have to say it. And so we need to break down the things sometimes and take a back seat and say, hang on a moment, why are we rushing? Where are we all rushing? Where's all this busyness getting us? So that's a little intro that I wanted to sort of remind everybody that it's not all about fast-paced quick fixes. What's the next workout? What's the next screen meal looking like? What's the thing? What do we need to do? What do we do? This is just one little moment of the day that you get to do a little bit of exercise and put on a festive hat or something, or just buy your tree, take a snapshot, put in the group. I know some people love to bank them 3 or 4 at a time and then just splurge them into the group. If you have been banking them, don't leave it to the last minute. Very important. I may not make it to Sunday. I may make it to Saturday and make a decision then. So if you're thinking, I'm going to do the whole of my sweaty selfies, and then on Sunday I'm going to go boom, 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 let's try and do that by tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah. So if you've been banking them, make sure you start putting them into the group straight away. Okay, my friends. So another thing I wanted to say, how many of you are ill at the moment? I know that the flus, the colds, all these bugs are doing the rounds. They are doing the rounds. And, it's it's really, really hard when you don't feel well and you still want to become accountable. So I really, really am super proud of those people who are not feeling well, but are still finding the time to jump in and give us a sweaty selfie. It's not even a sweaty selfie, but just a selfie. And this is what it's all about. I got everybody here in different scenarios, different stories, different backgrounds, and still doing, and still, joining in. So don't think you need to be perfect. Remember, I don't do perfect. I don't do perfect. I don't do, all or nothing. We are here as a group, as a club feel, supporting each other. We're a team, and everybody is, contributing from whatever current reality you're coming from at the moment. If it's a tough one, I still applaud you for being here and showing up. So another thing that I wanted to say was that. So booze, are you ready? So booze, there is so many things I can talk about surrounding alcohol, because that's one of the biggest topics I've always had to talk about when it comes to wellness, because everybody thinks, if I eat right and I train, then I'm more or less there, and then I can drink my alcohol, I can drink whatever I want. Well, of course, if you are eating the wrong things and you're not exercising and you are drinking, it's going to be a worse scenario than if you are training and you're eating well. And we all know what we need to do to get the closest to our goals. However, apart from that emotional attachment that the alcohol has with overconsumption and overindulgence, the next day, how are you feeling? How do you feel going into a night out? Are you worried about the next day? Are you worried about how you're going to feel when you wake up the next day, and you're going to beat yourself up about why you overconsumed and so forth? And this is a very real thing, and it's we can talk about alcohol, but you can really attach it to anything. So it can be like a big binge on food, or a big binge on Netflix, for example. That you should probably be doing your workout, or you should be doing a bit of more counting your steps. I'm talking to the people who are a bit more sedentary. If you're working out every single day, or at least every other day, sitting down watching Netflix is not a bad thing. It's quite, it is quite, it's quite soothing as well. I do it with the kids all the time. But you have to think and say to yourself, have that word with yourself and say, okay, if I have not worked out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've had more or less of a sedentary day sitting in the office, then I'm not going to sit down and watch 5-6 episodes of my favorite Netflix series today. I'm going to get my butt in gear. I'm going to put my trainers on. I'm going to do a workout, and I'm going to push out a selfie here for the group. And you're going to go to bed feeling so much more accomplished, and you can tick that out of the list, and you feel so much better. I know there's loads of people who believe that exercise is overrated. Some I can see it in the news feeds already, that you got the people who will say exercise is everything, and other people will say, well, it's all about mindset, and some other people will say it's all about food. And we know in this group, members know in this group, we've all known for years now, what works is a little bit of both, a little bit of those three things. So fitness, nutrition, and mindset, and there's other things as well we touch upon when we talk about wellness, but we're rounding up everything to do with wellness. It's not just one thing, and there is still, I think, a little bit of stigma whereby people will believe if we train hard enough, we will outdo everything else. And it's not like that at all. You can't out train a bad diet. You can out train some mental health issues, but all in the moment. And you'll get that endorphin high. You'll be more productive during the day. That is my number one thing I always say to everybody when you're having your low moments, to not miss your workouts. And I know some of you listening to this will know who you are. You know who you are. You know that the exercise is there for, and it really saves so many people, and it really has to, be on top of your list if that is you. but for generic standpoint, exercising a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be a grueling workout. If you're walking to work, coming back, using the steps, all the movement all during the day, that's your exercise. Maybe 2023 we're going to go big on workout snacking, and so to really fit into the modern woman's lifestyle. Menopausal women also, you need to change around the way that you're doing your workouts. If you were doing lots of HIIT or lots of grueling workouts and boot camps, that might not even be for you at this stage in your life. So there's so many things that we can go around in circles with until you find the thing that suits you, and then you find that your brain fog goes, and that your menopausal symptoms will improve, and that you're shifting your kilos, anything that you are setting your goals to. If you're not menopausal yet, but you're still not shifting the kilos, it could also be stress as well. And so, slowing down the parasympathetic nervous system down and doing your stretches, doing some Pilates, some body and mind. There was Kaylee last night. She did some restorative yoga, things like that, guys. It doesn't have to be a grueling workout. Do what your body needs that day, and just, and don't, and maybe it would be something that different that day. So I think it was today we have different workouts. Let me know if you enjoy those. I've got more of that type of workout, and let me know. I've also got to film some new ones. So give me a shout out. What would you like to see? Today I think you got your festive Pilates, and you've got, festive, some Pilates, and you got that bonus salsa workout. Let me know if you enjoy those. It certainly is fun. So with alcohol, we know that it is high amounts of sugar. You will find that the next following day you won't feel so positive and productive. So that aside, let's see how we can really, really set ourselves up for a better experience when we are going out on the nights out and boozing and all that. So for me, it's very simple. I never leave the house with an empty stomach when I'm going to go out or on the night with the girls. So I would probably have a greens juice, or I would have maybe half a banana, or definitely a tall glass of water. So I always have some sort of something, so that when I get to that restaurant or event or whatever I'm going to be attending to, I am not starving. When you are starving, you will have a glass of wine, you will down it, you will have some buffet bits, finger foods, and then before you know it, in the first half hour, you've overindulged already. So if you can have your green smoothie, or some piece of fruit, or a handful of nuts, something that will really stop that the hunger stage before you hit the drinks and so forth. And I know we're all rushing around, having our makeup done, all that. You're trying to put one outfit. Oh, you don't like it. Your earrings, where are they? You're rushing out the door. So maybe prepare your green smoothie, in the morning or in lunchtime, whatever you have more time to prepare that, and then just have that before you leave out. Another thing I do is I make sure I have my breakfast ready for the next day. This is very important. In the morning, you wake up, the last thing you want is to have a clean meal. So what I do is I already have it ready in the fridge, because if I have to make it myself, then the mind will say, oh, doesn't matter, you deserve some, toast and butter today. You really do, because you feel really rotten. So you really deserve some toast with some butter, and a large coffee. Coffee will always be there, that's for sure, first thing in the morning. But see the difference between you having already something ready in the fridge. You wake up, you get up, you open the fridge, maybe you heat it up a little bit in the oh, it's a bit of a glitch alert. I hope that I am still there. Am I still there, you guys? Yes, I think I am. Morning or lunchtime, whatever. Yep. So And you've got it there and ready. There's no friction there at all. You open the fridge, you get it, you might warm it up a little bit and then have it. So it's always beneficial to do that kind of stuff before you go out that night. So not in the moment if you're rushing, but at the same time you did your green smoothie, maybe just do, I don't know, some eggs and some avocado and some chicken. Put it into a nice container, put into the fridge. Following morning, heat it up a little bit, take the avocado off first, and then you'll at least have that readily available. There's more chance, 60-70% chance you grab that in the morning. You may not like having that first thing in the morning, nobody does, but you will definitely be serving yourself so much more going forward. So you'll have your protein rich breakfast, then it's water all day long, and definitely you'll feel so much better through the day rather than if you just caved in to those things in the morning. Now remember, this is not about restriction or deprivation. It's not about being healthy freaks through Christmas. It really isn't. It's more of putting things into a little bit more perspective. Health is wealth. It always will be. If you are super healthy all year round, this is not the time of the year to be super healthy at all. But for those of you who want to grab a little bit more control, then just bear in mind these few tips. It really does help. For those people who never drink and then go full blast in Christmas, watch it. And especially if you've been clean eating so far, you will get tipsy so much easier as well because your system's super clean. Those of you who drink alcohol on a regular basis, let me tell you, the nightcap, that is a myth. That is not it. Alcohol will relax you in the moment, so it is sedating you, but it's not making you eventually it'll get you more anxious. Have you noticed that when the alcohol starts wearing off, you become maybe a little bit more anxious? Or maybe you just fall asleep after in the evening, but you won't sleep well. So it is a myth. It is a myth that alcohol is being used as a nightcap. So many people are still using it, and it really, really disrupts your sleep pattern. So don't use it as a nightcap. You want to use it at lunchtime, that's way better. But I would really try and, put these things in place. Make sure that you have your green smoothie, your protein-rich breakfast ready. Don't go starving out to dinner or to your drinks with friends. Don't go starving out. How overindulgent we can become. And make sure you are definitely hydrating as much as you can. Maybe a glass of water for every alcoholic drink you have. Just make sure you have some things in place, just some things. But by all means, enjoy every moment. I've gone on a little bit because it's a bit long. I know booze is going to be a super topic. Let me know, when's your next night out? Is it this Friday? Was it last night? Is it today? I know the offices are always on and off with nights out and days out. Have a great rest of the day, and let me see your sweaty selfies, you girls. So little time to go. I know Thursdays people start fizzling out, so make sure that you give me all your banked sweaty selfies now, because me and Rachel are going to start counting them and maybe cut this short on Saturday rather than Sunday. Have a great rest of the day, my friends, and see some of you tonight at the class. Super, super, super duper Thursday. Let's go.